This video is for James Manning. If you're watching, follow at me. And with that, of course, I'm the most open-minded investor / NFT artist on YouTube with a diverse appetite for risky asset classes ranging between shopping centers and shitcoins, but not government bonds, creating contact-led, family-friendly, cookie-accepting, cat-free, technical and specialized tutorials and guidelines to harness the generational wealth transfer found in crypto trends. And last, as a believer of Jesus Christ and a fan of Gary Vee and an extremely well-educated and multilingual Korean opera with hair naturally curlier than the average Asian male and highly coveted by many moms with daughters, also known as Hando Kim. Today's video is titled, is Bitcoin mining worth it in 2022? And is this something that you could consider? Well, today I came across the news that Jack Dorsey, right? He owns part of this company called Block, which then owns Square. Square is one of those little things that you see at, festivals and stuff like, food carts. And if you want to pay for stuff there, instead of giving you this bulky FPOS terminal, you can just pay on that. And that's what it was. And they're saying, yo, we're going to go and set up a Bitcoin mining. So of course, it seems like that it's working, right? If we look at Bitcoin hash rate, this is how much calculation power is out there to actually mine for Bitcoin, to actually solve them a math equation to actually mine for Bitcoin. So I guess most of you already know that you need to solve equations to actually mine for Bitcoin. I've got a crazy ass idea at the end of the video. That's why I shouted out James Manning, but just stay tuned and you're going to see something. Anyway, the reason why there's a big dump in the hash rate is in the calculation power for Bitcoin mining has gone down is because of China banning Bitcoin mining, right? So that means there's less Bitcoin supply, and coincidentally that lined up with Bitcoin actually going up in price, which is obvious because the supply is reduced, right? The hash rate has been increasing ever since then. More and more people are getting into Bitcoin mining, and more institutional level Bitcoin mining is happening. So if we look at, for example, Riot, it's an American company for Bitcoin mining as well. It's one of the bigger ones. And they said that if you want to invest in Bitcoin, right, and you want to leverage your gains, right, if you want to just multiply your gains, it's good to actually buy into these Bitcoin mining companies to actually leverage out your gains as well, because they tend to spike up when the Bitcoin price goes up, and it's obviously going to be correlated with Bitcoin, which is what they're mining, right? It's like a company that is, mining for gold, all of a sudden finds that gold is really, really expensive. So of course they're going to do much, much better than the rest. That's the thing about mining. It's very much still happening. So I did a bit of research into Bitcoin mining, and there's literally so many videos on Bitcoin mining. There's this guy Voscoin who seems to be doing this, this is entire channel. And there's, asking, can this make money, this and that, whatever. Bia Heza, he's good at making videos. It gets seen by a lot of people, but I think on a technical front, he's not quite there yet, but still very, very helpful videos to watch. Now, there are two types of Bitcoin mining that you can do. One type is you got to get them, graphics cards. You've seen those rigs, it fills up the whole room. I can see a photo and still listen to the sound that it makes. It's crazy, right? And then there is this other thing called the ASIC miner. So ASIC miner, it stands for application specific integrated circuit, ASIC miner. So it only mines one particular type of cryptocurrency, and that being Bitcoin usually. And so that's the difference between them two. And apparently ASIC miner is more specialized, and all you need is power. Now, power is the killer here. If we look at the article, so Byron Bay becomes the new home of Aussie Bitcoin mining. Yay. What's happening is that they're actually adding about 0.4 exahash, which is a hell of a lot to the mining operations, right? And it's 100% powered by renewable energy generated by the Quinbrook site in Byron Bay. So your boy reached out to him on LinkedIn out of all places, because I'm a bit of a stalker. So I went to Mawson Infrastructure Group, and they didn't float within Australian exchange. They actually floated in NASDAQ, which is pretty cool. I guess, they want to swim like the big fish. That's great. And so I said to him, I know this guy here in South Australia that owns a lot of solar farms, right? And I'm going, hey, why don't we then build those two sort of next to each other? Because there is a tax benefit if they source their own renewable energy. How great is that? So source their own renewable energy, and then, we'll work something out. So video is kind of a shout out to James Manning. If you're watching this video, let's actually have a chat. I understand you wanted to increase your operation by 11.7% by the second quarter of 2022. We're definitely in the first quarter. So if you want to increase the capacity by 11.7%, maybe we can have a chat. 4,000 more ASIC Bitcoin miners. That's quite a lot. A Bitcoin miner, I think it's about 40 to 50 grand each. I mean, it's 60 if it's retail, but about 40 grand each, right? And then you multiply that by 4,000. Oh, that's $160 million investment, which is, not little. But I've already got solar farms that are already functional, making energy, and it carries a battery, which will then be able to provide you with a constant stream of electricity, which is better than, just a solar farm without any batteries. And you just got to match up the capacity or the usage of the Bitcoin miners so that you always have that consistent stream of electricity, I guess. I've got some projects which has around about 4 gigawatt in solar panel capacity. So I think that will be right up his alley. So my followers, go tag him, go to Twitter, send him a message. I want him to notice me so that we can have a bit of a chat. if nothing, comes out of it, it is what it is. But I think there could be a good deal to be done there. Now, there is one place that I think would interest you guys to be looking at when it comes to considering ASIC miners. And, and this is a very helpful website, ASICminervalue.com. That's it. So this one, then we look at real-time miner profitability. If you want to get into something like this, you can hold this sort of on a retail basis at home if you wanted to. That's up to you. So Gold Shell KD6. Let's look at KD5 because the release hasn't even happened yet. So we'll look at KD5 here, March 2021. So per year, you make about $40,000 per year, right? In one of these miners here. Electricity cost is about $2,000 over the course of a year, which is, quite a fair bit. Now, how is this calculated? Let's have a look. Kilowatt hours in the local preferences on the page footer. Okay, so you see in the message add or, okay, I'm using Brave, which blocks every single ad. So I'm going to get rid of that. So let's load this baby up. And then where have I set my location? Local preferences, default. Okay, here we go. AUD, okay, because I'm Australian. And then let's work with like 13 cents per kilowatt hour, 14 cents, because, I could get that. In Australia, it's way more expensive than that. If you're using, residential electricity, I've seen it go as high as like 40 cents per kilowatt hour. So in which case, I don't know if there's as much money to be made. If we apply that, then yes, if you do this like retail, so like, if you just do it at home or something, you will struggle to make a good amount of money. Hopefully, it'll be better if you have like commercial rates available for you. So within Australian dollars and with the price of Bitcoin where it is right now, this is the amount of money you could be making. I think it just applied now. And so this is a website where you can actually check how much it can be bought, and then you can see where they're for sale as well. So obviously on a more institutional scale, these investments become a lot more attractive than your other, real estate counterpart investments, although they are a lot more stable. So this video has two objectives, which is probably not so good in terms of my engagement. But one objective is if you want to look at getting into Bitcoin mining, well, here it is, ASIC miner value. I think this is the least amount of stuffing around you can do. All those, graphic card rig setups, like they're great. But the thing is, it takes a lot of energy to set up. Getting parts is a nightmare. I'm not saying it's not going to be a nightmare with this one, but this is a lot more specialized. And I hear those systems actually crash quite often as well. If you look at B.I. Hazard's video, you'll find out that's actually, that's one of the pain points that he's got. So with Bitcoin mining rigs, I think the ASIC miners are the way to go. And you can see the profitability straight away. Now, for a lot of those, retail guys out there, like just normal guys like you and me in the basements of our mums, it's hard to fork out 70 grand to make like 40 grand a year. And if you had 70 grand, wouldn't you just play it in the altcoin market? So this is really big fish game right here, which brings to my second objective of the video is for James Manning. Hit a brother up, man. I'm a nice person. I promise I won't bite, and would love to have a chat with you about those solar farms that I have access to here in South Australia, bringing some of this business, expanding your business into this beautiful part of the world. I know you announced your move back in October with Financial Review, and it being a whole 3 months, it feels like it's ages away, but maybe I'm too late. Maybe I'm just at the right time. Whatever it is, reach out. Would love to have a chat. Other than that, for those people that just love and watch my content, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you go follow on all of my socials. Make sure you ring that notification bell and subscribe. Smash that like button. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.